Winter is a season I feel neutral about. Of course, it's nice to have a couple of days off work, but at the same time, it's grueling to be alone around the holidays. Being a broke college student, I couldn't afford a ticket to see my family over winter break, so I was prepared to spend the holidays alone once again. Seeing how upset I was about not being able to go home, my best friend offered to stay at his family's small cabin in the woods. He told me his family was going on vacation out of town, so the place would be free for as long as I'd like. Hearing this news, I was ecstatic. This would be the first time since I entered college that would actually feel like Christmas. Before giving me the keys, he warned me not to open the door for anyone. Absolutely anyone, especially if they knocked at night. I thanked him, but didn't think much about his warning. On Christmas Eve, I began the long drive there. I listened to Christmas music the whole way. Looking at the snow falling, it finally felt like the holidays. As I continued driving, I noticed there wasn't any houses for miles. Once I arrived at the cabin, it was easy for me to settle in. I opened my book with my hot cocoa and sat peacefully by the fireplace, just like I imagined. Before long, the sun had already set, and the only thing I could hear beyond my breathing was a fire crackling. My peaceful silence was soon interrupted by knocking on the door. "Please let me in. It's so cold out here." I froze in my seat, staring at the window closest to the door. I stood up, trying to get a better look of who was outside. It was a little girl, wearing a dress that looked very antique. I was taken back when she stared back at me. Her pupils were completely black. "It looks so warm in there. Please let me in." I slowly reached towards the doorknob, almost in a trance, but stopped. This just wasn't right. No human could have completely black eyes. I put out the fire, hoping she would just think no one was home and go away. That was definitely not a little girl. I could only hold in my screams as I heard the knocking getting louder. The little girl repeating the same 3 words. "Please let me in.
Please let me in. Please let me in."
After what felt like hours, the knocking somehow stopped. Light poured in from the windows, and I didn't sleep at all that night. I wondered if I imagined the whole thing. To double check, I opened the door, and my heart dropped. There were child footsteps circling around the cabin. Needless to say, I packed up all my stuff and left that very day. I couldn't get out of there soon enough. After I got back home, I told my friend about what had happened at the cabin. He seemed to hesitate, then told me the reason that his family stopped staying there was because some of his family members would see a little girl walking around at night, and when they tried to approach her, they would see her black eyes.